some competitor stuff off Amazon just to kind of check out their branding and product. But yeah,
Nice.
talking to a manufacturer right now, getting some stuff sent over
Cool.
the sea.
Nice. So reminder that I am recording these. It's going to be available for Valentino already asked me to record them. I'm going to put these in the course backend, and then some or all are going to go on YouTube. So keep that in mind. If you would like me to pause the recording because you want to talk about your product or niche, just say pause real quick, and then I can pause it, and you can say anything that you don't want to be on YouTube. So just a reminder for that. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're already done with product research because you, so to fill Jess in, she wasn't here, and Javier, I think. Javier, were you on the last call?
No.
No, okay. So to fill Jess and Javier in, Wyatt has a situation where his friend has an affiliate website for this niche type of product, and they're going to do a partnership where he basically gets put at the top of their review list. So he has an outside traffic source already set up for this one niche product, and so he's going to go with that. And although it's not necessarily going to be unique to everything else on Amazon, he's going to be relying on the outside traffic to boost up his ranking and get reviews as well. So that's his situation. So cool. Javier, what about you? How's product research going? I already asked you, but yeah, any more details?
No more details. I'm just using the Excel documents to analyze the product. Well, I'm working on it. I have as I told you, I have like 4 or 5 products, and I have still to analyze them.
Cool. Yep. Diving into it. Cool. Let's see who's next on my slider here. Elo, what's up?
Oh, what's going on?
Not much. What about you? How's product research coming?
Oh, it's okay. I'm just trying to dive into it. I'm kind of comparing, contrasting, which product works for me, but I mean, everything's okay so far.
Cool. So to fill everyone in, I had a 101 call with Elo on a few days ago, and he is hustling, you could say that. So working full-time day job at Amazon Fulfillment Center, also doing DoorDash in the evenings, and also full-time student. So his FBA hustling time is from 10 p.m. to midnight.
That's amazing.
So just a little golf clap for Elo for putting that work in. Like 99% of people would not start a side hustle when they're doing 3 other things. So props to you, Elo. So just 2 hours a day he's going to be trying to squeeze in. So, as I said, 4 hours a day is ideal, but we'll see what you can do, Elo.
That's right. Keep going.
That's right. Just keep chipping away, doing what you can do. Let's see, Abe, what's up? What's going down in Ciudad de Mexico?
Hey, I've also been diving into the videos and the research. I don't really have like a set product yet that I want to look further into. I'm kind of just being open-minded, kind of ideating like around like what Payman said about the things you use every day, the things people use every day, things like that. Looking at different niches and trying to see kind of like the route, as you suggested, kind of like what am I going to be interested in? That way I know kind of the audience, or I have some sort of degree of knowledge about the product, so it makes it easier and more enjoyable. So kind of along those lines, that's what I've been doing. one of the things I guess that I was curious about was like certain types of products that I should avoid. I know electronics is one of them, but I was wondering if there's some other ones. I don't know if maybe that's covered later, but that's sort of the question.
Yeah, good question. Categories to avoid. Yeah, definitely electronics. I know I mentioned that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the main one. Other than the obvious ones that make sense, like sports memorabilia. Like obviously you can't private label that. And then obviously big things is not ideal as well, because over 18 inches is a $2 extra FBA storage fee.
Just would like to
So
add.
yeah, electronics is the main thing. Yeah, go ahead, Payman.
Yeah, I just would like to add as regarding products categories to avoid anything that's sharp, like knives, anything that has liability issues, as well as say anything that you either put on your skin, up in your body, in your mouth. I would stay away from those. Anything basically that has could have any form of liability. So anything that's maybe targeting babies, or anything that's like could be potentially a risk, just stay away from it. Just stick to more, I would say, more safer categories like kitchen, home, office, garden, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. I'll vouch for the baby niche. I'll say that's actually a good niche, because my mom and my brother actually have a product in the baby niche, and Amazon has streamlined the hazardous material process. My mom had to go through this last summer when she launched her baby product, her second product, and they literally have you take a quiz, and then take a quiz about hazardous materials and you're making sure it's safe for babies, and then they have you go through this little lesson, and then there's a quiz at the end, and if you pass that quiz, and then you just check all the boxes that says my product is not hazardous material, it's not hazardous to choking, blah 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 blah, and okay, you're approved for the baby category. That's pretty much it. So baby category, good. Electronics, bad. I was just telling Tino last night that he's like, even something with just a simple battery, like a flashlight. And I was like, yes, try to avoid that, because with my first selfie stick tripod product, it came with a Bluetooth clicker remote. And that was the source of 80% of negative reviews. And so it was a huge headache, just that little remote. It's like just a small piece of the product, small side accessory, but contributes to most of the negative reviews, because like, let's say there's a 1 to 2% defect rate, and there was 1 to 2% of the inventory, the Bluetooth remote wouldn't connect to their phone, or just didn't work. And so all of those people, like, even if it's just 10 out of 1,000, are going to be pissed because it straight up doesn't work. So they go on and they vent as a negative review. So that's one of those things where, like, if there's a little small defect, it just kills the product, and that can lead to negative reviews. So there's that. And then also my little brother, his first product that he tried in 2016 was Bluetooth headphones. And I think there's also an issue with like 1 to 2% defect rate. And anyway, product didn't catch on. He switched into a different niche outside of electronics.
Stay away from anything that requires batteries, because in one of the coffee niche that we started when I was living in China, we had an accessory that required a battery. And because of the battery, the product was held in customs almost 3 months. And we had to go through heaps and heaps of challenges just to get that released. So avoid anything that requires any type of batteries. Because even if you think that on your end the battery fulfills all the requirements, when it gets to custom in the US or whatever, Amazon, that can be an issue. So anything that's breakable, electronics, anything that's more than one moving part, anything that is sharp endings, just avoid, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, in an ideal world, the simpler the better, for sure, for sure. But yeah, you're off to a good start. Looking into categories that you may be interested in. That's pretty much it. This is only week 2. I was actually thinking we have the weeks officially start on Sunday just to keep it easy. So this is officially still week 1, and then so this is like mid-week 1 call, and then week 2 will officially be the week of May 10th. So yeah, first 3 weeks actually is getting your eyes on as many different niches as possible, exploring the world. We're literally an explorer. We're getting out there looking for unseen territories and unseen widgets, gadgets, and trinkets, and exploring as many different niches that we didn't even know existed, and just brainstorm, opening up new tabs, going back through them, things that are potentially possible and interesting. Then we add that to the spreadsheet and do the number crunching, and then keep going wide, keep adding good potential ideas to the spreadsheet. Keep going wide, keep browsing around, looking around. And then after you got 30 to 50 ideas in your spreadsheet, then go back through there and go through the spreadsheet ideas again, and think a little bit deeper with all those ideas in terms of differentiating ideas. Take notes in the spreadsheet, your differentiating ideas. Look on Alibaba for those keywords. See if you can see any unique, interesting models. Take notes of that. And but this first couple weeks is wide. Let's see. Has anyone looked on any other websites other than Amazon.com for idea scouting yet?
I found Etsy to spark more creative ideas when I wasn't in that phase.
You checked out Etsy. Okay, cool. Yeah. So don't forget, guys. Whenever it makes sense, whenever you've gone through Amazon, don't forget about those other sites that I list in the course. Etsy being one of them. Let's see. Any questions? Guess we can do Q&A. Anything you guys are stuck on, or questions or anything?
So I found I was doing research, and I found a product that's pretty high demand, high competition, but then I found a longer tail keyword for it that's high demand, low competition. So you think that is just enough means to just would be like, that'd be a high, like add that to my top 5 probably?
Yeah, that's good. High demand, low competition. That's what we're looking for. So I would just add that to your spreadsheet, and then forget about it, and then keep going wide and keep going to Mars, exploring distant territories.
Gotcha.
That's what I would do, because as I mentioned, in the course multiple times, is one of the hardest things / biggest mistakes is getting too invested in a product early on.
Yeah.
Because the first couple of days you're like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. Oh my God, high demand, low competition. Ooh. And then it's like you focus too much brain energy on that, when really the first 2 weeks at least you should be exploring, and then just tossing good ideas into the spreadsheet, and then forget about it. So that's what I'd say.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. What else?
When you do your brand registry on Amazon, do you use like a DBA, or do you use just your standard business name? Like what I'm wondering is, like, could I use the current LLC that I have and have a different, like, I don't really want my LLC name because it's just like my last name, but I want to, like, can you use a DBA? Like if I made a DBA for like the niche niche brand, and then can I use that DBA that will then show up on like the Seller Central and like in the front end of Amazon, like what customers are seeing?
The customers will see the brand name, the business or tax entity that's behind the brand registry is not what they see. I think in brand registry you should be able to enter your brand name, and that's what
So you
customers.
could use like a DBA.
You can
for the
put
most part.
anything that you want,
Okay, cool.
any name that you want, separate from
Okay,
the business entity that's on the
Okay,
tax
sweet.
that's on the tax form, and you can change your brand name. You just enter some words, but yeah. You will need to file for a trademark.
Okay.
Yeah. Has brand registry explained that yet, or how far have you gotten?
No, I haven't even gotten that far. Okay. So
Yeah.
got to file for a trademark for your brand. Got it.
Yep. Yeah, just go through the brand registry application process, and it should explain that pretty clearly. That's the main thing that you need. Then you need you need to have your brand name trademarked. And that takes 6 to 9 months. So that's the thing. Yeah, that reminds me, I should add a video about that and getting set up. So yep, you basically, and everyone should do that, by the way. So I'll add that to the checklist, to the 90-day checklist and to the master checklist. I think it's already in the 90-day checklist. But yeah. Oh yeah, that actually is a good point. So you need to know your brand name first. So maybe you need to know your product first. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, once you have your product, and maybe that's in the branding section of the course. Once you have your product, coming up with a brand name and a product name, and that brand name is what you apply for brand registry, brandregistry.amazon.com, and it's got to be a trademarked name, which is pretty straightforward. You just go to the USPTO website and submit your brand name. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Unless you wanted to choose a really generic brand name. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You guys can ask me brand name questions when it comes to that. When it comes to that point. But yeah, get your trademark submitted if you already know your brand name at uspto.gov. Yeah. What else? Let's see. But the cool thing is, on that note, which I need to make a video about as well, because one of my VAs, she has an Amazon product, this European VA, and you can still put videos on your listing without being brand registered. In the videos section above the reviews, you just click upload a video. So I think the main benefit of brand registry is the A+ content, and that goes hand in hand with having a video in your gallery. But now you can have a video down at the bottom, so that's nice. Yeah, the other main benefit of brand registry, it basically means you can have the A+ content section, which is just more images and pictures on your listing. See what else? Any more questions? What are you guys stuck with?
Would you say AliExpress is another site that you would use for product research or product ideas? It wasn't on your list.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yep. I don't see why not. It's just I just see AliExpress as Alibaba, but you can order single products, single units. So I would say, yeah, get in there and see what you can find.
You can use AliExpress to test products. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also order samples from AliExpress. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Yep. And also on the homepage, which I'm looking at now, is we'll have, as every site does, has trending products. Plus things that you've ordered in the past. Oh, so funny. So I ordered some masks, some like K95 masks or something like that on March 20th. And they showed up yesterday.
Wow.
It took fucking a month and a half.
Oh.
They're like, I don't need these anymore, bro. So yeah, be sure to check the shipping time on those samples. Yeah, have you guys been on Amazon.com? Have you been looking through the different sections like movers and shakers, most gifted? Any questions around that? Pretty straightforward. Yep. Let's see. What else, Payman? What else is going on?
Well, just people doing some research right now. Just as I posted earlier today in the group, in the Facebook group, some suggestion for making the product selection and product, coming out list more fun. Instead of just spending time in front of the computer, you can just take a look at every item that you use on a day-to-day basis. You look at home, at work, when you used to go at work, outside, anywhere, at the gym. Just write them down. Make a list. Make 4 or 5 categories. One, say, for home household items, one for kitchen house items, one for outdoors, one for garden, one for office, and so on and so forth. And try to have at least 50 to 100 product ideas under each category. And within a week, you should have at least 200 to 300 items. And after the week, you can just make a short list of the top 5. Once you have your list, just go on Amazon and do your research, run the numbers to have a first idea, and then you can make a short list of the top 5 and then dive deeper on those 5 short lists per category. So within the first year, you should have at least 200 product ideas, and then trim it down to say the top 5, and you should have 20 to 30 hot product opportunities to really go deep into. That can be a fun way to look for products, because we have products all around us everywhere we go. Instead of just wondering what do I look for, what kind of product, I would say just have a notepad beside you, even on your phone. Just write down any product that you touch, that you use on a day-to-day basis. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's for your car, for your bike, for your computer, for whatever. Just write them down, and you'd be surprised that you can come up with some pretty good damn product ideas just like that. Product that actually see in your hands, touch in your hand, and can say, hey, I'm using this. What is the problem with it? How can I improve it? As opposed to just looking at some, pictures on a screen. So that's something that I've been using myself. I prefer that way because I like to touch and see and feel the product as opposed to just, So that's something that I would highly recommend.
Yep. So the homework for week 1 inside the Notion 90-day checklist is list 20 products you use yourself, list 20 products around this house, and list 20 products you've bought in the past year.
Yep.
So that will be that will be due, class, by next call. So if I think there's a tab in the spreadsheet template, so make sure you guys have that filled out. If you have any questions about that, let me know. But that's just a little assignment about products that you see IRL. Brain jogging exercise, class. Yes, let's see.
You said there's a tab for homework in the spreadsheet software?
Yes, there is. It looks like I forgot to name it. It's the second tab, product. Products IRL brainstorm list. 20 products I use, 20 products I see others use, 20 products I've purchased. 20 products I use and 20 products I've purchased is kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We're making the products I purchased within the past year and products I use currently, something like that, maybe, to differentiate them.
Products I use. How about products I use currently or have purchased, products I see others use, and then products that my boyfriend and girlfriend has used or has purchased. That's kind of that I've seen others use.
I just make 5 categories: one for household items, one for kitchen, one for garden, one for office, one for sport and outdoors, and just add at least 50 products into each category, 50 to 100, and after 5 days you would have 150 to 250 products right there.
Yep. I'll brainstorm it. So, but anyways, fill out the second tab, guys, in the product brainstorm list by next call. Let's see, what else? Any more questions?
How about products that are like, I know you guys said like don't do anything that can harm, but like how about products like anti-cut sleeves or something like that, like where it's supposed to protect you against getting cut?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Like, I mean, like, should we avoid those because it could, like, what if it doesn't, like, there's defect and the person gets cut?
Oh, yeah, like a glove or something.
Yeah.
Anything that could have any liability issue, just at least for your first product. Once you're more like a seasoned, seller and you have a healthy budget behind you, then you would be much more, comfortable going into those more riskier products. At first, I would go with something less risky.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we could say it's not ideal.
I've seen some people trying to sell those harnesses, but if that breaks and the person using it falls and has an accident, you're gonna be sued. So you gotta be ready for that.
Yep. Yeah, not in a perfect world, not ideal. And if you were, then make sure you have a LLC, limited liability company. Yep. So yeah, looks like Brandon's the only one who has gone into the Trello board. So anyone else have questions about the Trello group scoreboard? Gotta have that as the shared dashboard so I can see everyone's progress and everyone else can see everyone's progress. And Payman and I will think of a reward for whoever gets through it first, and also a punishment for whoever is in last place. That's what they say works. Oh yeah, and by the way, I was actually thinking about this. So I saw this workout app where I saw it on the App Store. It was like on the home screen of the App Store. It's a fitness app where you set a goal, you set like a 60, 90-day goal or whatever. And if you don't hit it, then you lose $500. It's called like accountability or something. So it's called Motivator. And so if anyone feels like doing that, there is an app. It's for self-accountability. You go in there and you put in your credit card and you put in whatever your goal may be, like product on Amazon 90 days from now. And if you don't hit it, then you have different like judges, like friends that you select as judges. And at the end of the period, they judge whether or not it was accomplished or not. If it's not accomplished, then you lose an amount that you choose. But what they actually said, there's an article about it, is they found that $500 was the amount that actually caused the test subjects to do the task. And it was focused around weight loss. But they're like, anything less than 500 wasn't a big enough motivator, name of the app, to actually get people to do it like no matter what. Whether it's, do that workouts 5 days a week, and, the idea is one day if someone doesn't feel like working out, they don't want to get out of bed in the morning for that workout, or they don't want to do it late at night. They found $500. The fear of losing $500 was the amount that they found that motivated. It was like 95% of people to do it. So that's a tool I have in my toolbox for maybe future groups or whatever. But right now I'm making it optional. If you feel like that extra accountability or fear of loss is one of the biggest motivators, just let me know and we'll set that up and I'll be your judge for that.
What is it called?
It's called Motivator, without an E.
Okay.
Motivator. And I've used a similar app that was actually Tim Ferriss mentioned in the 4-Hour Work Week called Stick, STICK. And Parker and I actually used it in 2013 when I was sleeping on my couch for a year. And we used it for workout accountability. It's basically the same thing. You put down a wager that you're willing to commit to your goal or whatever. And it was like working out 4 days a week. And if you don't hit your goal, then it charges your credit card.
There's another one. I don't know the name of it. I don't remember it. But it will donate your money to like an anti-charity.
Yep.
Like you can pick a company that you hate and it'll send the money to them.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Stick does that as well.
Okay.
You can choose an anti-charity.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a tool for the toolbox if anyone wants to volunteer for that extra accountability. Just throwing that out there. Had that idea. Yeah, let's see. Anything else you guys are wondering for product research? Right now is just, as you guys know, getting down and dirty.
Are there any other products that we should manufacture in the States? Because I know supplements are for sure we got to manufacture in the States. Are there any that we got to think of that should for sure 100% manufacture in the States?
Pretty much anything that requires the FDA approval is, you know, in an ideal world, it's made in the States. In an ideal world, we source everything from the States, but that's just not the reality with you know, pricing wise. With supplements, I mean, the main reason is for the people get it from the States is for the FDA approval documents. But what would you say, Payman?
I agree. Anything that, as a rule of thumb, anything that goes either on your skin or inside your body, definitely get it from the US. I guess also depends on the product. If you're targeting like more the higher premium and you want to target premium because it's of the made in USA label or made in Canada, made in Europe, that's something you can do if you're targeting a more premium type of demography. So it depends what your product is. If you want to be just, I think that would be moving on forward. That's going to be a very smart decision to do. If you want to set yourself apart and target people that are actually either going to be looking for more quality or even people that are going to be more patriotic, because right now people are trying to get, you know, encourage local businesses. And another thing I'm noticing is that more and more people are trying to avoid anything made in China. And one thing that is booming right now is, so people are, I'm very involved in the e-commerce scene, especially since I was living in 5 years in China and Hong Kong. A lot of these people are now, the main question they ask is, guys, what's the best alternative to China? And the one that comes the most is India. And that's something that I'm currently really strongly considering. And there is actually a section on the course on that as well. You guys will get to that. So yeah, right now, more and more people are looking for other options instead of China, especially with what's going on outside in the world. More and more people are conscious of, they want to make a difference in their own way, and the best way to do it is by voting with a wallet. So I think moving forward from this year and onward, sourcing a product in the US or anywhere in the Western world or anywhere else, that's going to be a very wise decision. Sure, it's going to cost you more, but you're going to gain a bigger market share, especially if you're targeting the higher quality premium demography people. That can really set you nicely apart. I would definitely be for that. And even myself, I'm strongly thinking of launching a product as well, and I will definitely be looking for something that is more premium and outside of China.
Could you possibly say that's like a differentiating factor too, like that yours is made in the
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've seen that in many products that says, oh, it's in some, they use it in the headline and the packaging. It says this is not a cheap made in China product. It's made in USA, made in Germany, made in Canada, made in Japan, made in whatever. That's has a more higher perceived value in terms of quality. If you were to be able to get a product that is not made in China, don't get me wrong, not every product made in China is crap, because that's not fair to them. Because I lived in China, I've seen, yes, there's a lot of crappy products, a lot of high quality, but because of the perceived image that China is right now, it's going to be a tough call right now. But if you were to get something made in US, made in Canada, made in Australia, Japan, Germany, whatever, then you can definitely charge premium for that, definitely. Yes,
and I know you said avoid products that you put in our bodies. What about hypothetically like a cooking oil or something that you would use to cook with? Is that still considered like I'd want to avoid?
Yes, first of all, because of all the FDA regulation, and also anything that's basically for cooking, for eating, for as a cream, whatever supplement, it's a big no-no. Get it from the US, Canada, or the Western Europe or Japan, places with high standards of quality control.
Gotcha. Thank you.
What you want is somebody getting, suing you for that. And the first person that sues you, that's going to be the end of your business on Amazon.
Yep. Yeah, and I would add that as far as made in the USA being a differentiator, I would consider that the same category as branding as a differentiator. And as I say, branding is not a strong enough differentiator. The best differentiator is a functional feature. So if it's going to be made in the USA, if it's the same as a bunch of China-made products, if the functionality is the same, and you're charging $20, everyone else is charging $9, Amazon shoppers are going to take a close look, and they're going to say, They're going to see it's the exact same. I'm just going to go with the one that's $9. Even though it's made in the USA, okay, that feels nice, but I don't give a shit. So if it's the best differentiator is always a physical, functional thing that makes it different. And then if you can have made on the USA on top of that, cool. Maybe that'll boost your conversion rate a percent. But Amazon shoppers in general are savvy, and they come there to get the best price. And you know, I think most people would rather save $5 than feel good about made in the USA.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, but it would for some people, it would increase conversion rate for some shoppers that's most important to but for the majority of shoppers, they care more about price, I would say.
Okay.
A big part of you know, product selection is also finding out and getting to know as much as you can your ideal target customer. Because once you really understand your ideal target customer, you know exactly what is the pain points, what do they actually want, and then you can use those pain points, the problem they have, and then try to find a product that solves those pain points and emphasize that on your marketing, on your description, and on headlines and packaging and everything. And that's going to really, for example, let's say you're looking for selling a product that is, say, maybe not everybody can resonate with it, but a specific niche, targeted niche will definitely be receptive to that. And if you can find the right pain point and the right keywords for that, then you will crush it with that niche. So that's, again, a huge part of product research is, I would say, in my opinion, one half of the equation. The other half, okay, let's say you find a product, but then you also have to really understand, study your ideal customer. As much detail as you can. For example, what's their age, what's their gender, what's their hobbies, what do they like to do, and so on and so forth. The deeper you can get, the better you will be able to understand them. The better you understand the pain point, the better you can find a product that can really get exactly what they want. So keep that in mind as well. It's not just about looking for a product, but also once you do find the product, also try to see who is the ideal perfect customer for that product. What is the main challenges, the main pain points, and how can your product try to solve that? And if you can do that, then you have a slam dunk.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. Looking back with my selfie stick tripod product, we were trying to kind of find our niche audience, and I knew it at the beginning. My niche audience was me, you know, someone who wants to film videos at home. But now, if we were to launch that again now, we would niche down even further, not just someone who wants to film videos at home, but someone who wants to film TikTok videos at home. So we would focus on that micro niche avatar. They make TikTok videos full time, and they use their phone, and they want a nice tripod to be able to get the right angle anywhere around their house. So that's an example of taking a niche customer and then focus on that micro niche customer, that perfect avatar, TikTok video creator. And that's how many brands are started. They start real small, smaller specific audience. For example, Nike started with just running shoes for track, and then now they're everything. With Reebok, they started their cross training line just for CrossFit, just CrossFit shoes, and now it's just broader cross training line. In many brands, you'll find that story. They started with very small niche target customer, like some of these skate brands started just for skateboarders, just skate shoes like Vans, just skateboarder shoes. And that's how they kind of grew their first initial audience that was really passionate, because it's very specific, very targeted. And then after they get some amount of success, then they can broaden out towards a more wider audience.
Yeah, and always to add to that, always keep your eyes open, because I'll give you an actual example. A good friend of mine, he launched a line of high quality hiking socks just recently. And we did this initial market research. We thought that his ideal avatar would be, say, mid 20s to mid 30s, male, female, professional, successful. And then after a month or two of selling, he looked at the data, and the data revealed something completely opposite, that the people that were buying the bulk of his socks were actually people over the age of 50, because these people have a lot of time. So you have to do not assume. The worst mistake you can make is to assume that, hey, this is going to be my ideal customer. The only thing that's going to tell you the exact truth without any, it's not going to lie, is the data. So you can have an initial idea, but let run after a month or two of selling. Pay close attention to your data, and because that's where the gold is. And once you know and identify exactly your market, your ideal customers, then you can really tweak your marketing message, and everything else that goes with it. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't assume. That can give you an initial idea, but do not assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and after you find out that data, so what data does Amazon give you? That's a good question. Amazon gives you gender and age and household income, but that is about it. And I think you may need to be brand registered to see this. You go into your dashboard, customer data, and it's got a chart on age range, gender, and household income, and that's about it. But you could use that, to tweak your brand message. For example, if it's older folks more than younger than you thought, you can tweak that a little bit, maybe include some photos of some older folks. So a little bit of data there. But then down the road, when you're ready to open your Shopify sites and start getting outside traffic, assuming the product is successful and you want to take it to the next step, that's when you start getting more data, running surveys. You get the Facebook pixel and all that. We're actually just starting to run that for the sticky wallet. We hired our Facebook ads friend. He's going to run kind of a survey market research campaign to figure out exactly, try to dial in the avatar for this. But yeah.
Is there data I can find as far as traffic goes, like how much traffic Amazon accumulates during the time of the day, like in the morning, afternoon, or in the evening, by any chance?
Is there a thing where you can see traffic
Amazon,
morning? I don't know of a tool.
Doesn't Amazon provide like a graph that shows you during what time to what time you have the most traffic, especially in your PPC dashboard? Doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Is that what you mean? Like how much your product?
Yeah.
How much traffic your product is getting?
Well, yeah, and then in general as well. So I guess it's a two-part question.
Yeah, you can see in the PPC area by time of day. The data, the clicks and data by time of day. But for other products, as far as scouting, I don't know of a way that Jungle Scout can do that.
Does Helium 10 do that?
What's that?
Does Helium 10 do that?
I don't know. I don't use Helium 10,
okay.
But I don't know why that would be important to know anyway.
I guess really, it could be important to know what time do you want to run your ads and what time do you want to stop them, so you maximize your ad spend. I guess, is that what you meant? What you mean? Hilo, is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I know data as far as what time that the consumer is going to buy a product, then I can maybe target. Maybe this is a good product to choose at nighttime or in the morning. It all depends on what I'm looking at as far as that comes.
Oh, you're talking about the Jungle Scout data?
Sure. Yeah.
So the Jungle Scout data is going to be the same. It just goes by the monthly average sales and search volume. So all those numbers are monthly averages.
And to add to that, I would say that depends on the product and the target audience that you're targeting, what kind of product it is. But from looking at stats, the time that people are most on Amazon is usually during lunch hour between say 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. and after between say 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So people are at home. These are the historically looking at the stats by Amazon. This is when people are the most at home, or even at work when they have some time they can just go in and buy. And again, depending on your product. If your product is targeting, say, I don't know, hunters, whatever, maybe these people might be online at a different time. Maybe they can be, camping at 3 o'clock in the morning, outside and just, chilling and just buying. So it depends on your market. That's why it's very important to understand the ideal customer as much as you can, because that's invaluable data.
Yeah.
How about data as well, as far as trying to figure out who's buying products from different countries or regions of the U.S.? Is there a day I can look that up as far as that concerned?
Not sure I understand the question.
He's asking, can you know where the people are buying from? Are you talking about your customers or customers in general?
My customers.
I think when you buy, Amazon tells you where the person is from, right, Riley?
They used to, not anymore.
Really? Wow.
They used to give you their zip code, but they took that away sometime last year.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Did you get their address?
It actually used to give you, back in 2016 days, they used to give you their full address and phone number. So you could actually, one of the original ASM methods for reviews was calling the customers and asking them for how things are going. But pretty sure no more address, no more phone number for sure. Maybe zip code. Don't quote me on that. Maybe just the zip code. But I don't think so. I don't remember seeing a graph of state, what state your sales are coming from. Anyway, even if it does, for product research, it's not important. What time they buy is not important for product research. What state they're from, their ethnicity, nothing is important other than the monthly sales average and the monthly average keyword volume.
Those might be important for you later on to try to maximize your ads and all that, and when you're looking to scale. But I think that there must be some softwares that provide you that kind of data. I'll have to look into that, and we'll post it on the group if I do find anything.
Yeah, so the PPC software that we use is called PPC Entourage. It's $49 a month, and it can automate all of that type of stuff, like when to increase bids in the morning or afternoon or evening based on when your target customers are shopping. PPC Entourage handles all that automated, so don't worry about that stuff. But that is a common PPC strategy people use. But PPC Entourage automates it. Yeah. Let's see, coming up on about an hour. Anything, any final notes, anything else before we go? Cool. Awesome. As always, post your questions in the chats. Payman is keeping the Facebook group updated with the FAQ, common links and shit. But yeah, this week, just continue to product research. You guys already know. Not rocket science. Just keep getting down and dirty for these first few weeks. Keep getting your eyes on as many different ideas as possible, and we're just in total brainstorm mode. And just getting down and dirty. You know, as Brandon said in the Facebook group comments, you know, it can be, you know, very monotonous. And it can make your brain hurt sometimes. And I thumbs up that because yeah, it can make your brain hurt. It can be a little bit overwhelming. It can get a little boring, but you know, that's why this business is so special. You know, it's like, again, keeping the big picture in mind. You know, a year and a half from now, 2 years, I think having 2K, 3K coming into my bank account every month is just like, it's the most amazing thing, you know? So this is a real business. It takes real work. It's creating an income that's, you know, semi-automated is the most special thing ever. And if it were easy, then everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. So, but it's totally worth it. And that's the truth.
The bulk of the work is done initially, so put in the work initially so you can reap the rewards later on. And by later on, I don't mean 10 years from now. I mean even 3 to 5 months from now. Once your product is live, the only thing you have to do is just, you know, maintenance. Make sure you have enough inventory and run traffic. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, it's definitely an 80-20 thing. You know, now we're you know, we're digging the foundation. We got all the machinery, you know, building the foundation of this hotel, you know, or it's just even like a regular rental house. You're building it, and you know, 80% of the work is all up front. The blood, sweat, and tears go up front. But after it's built, boom, it's open. The renter goes in and pays you rent every month. So kind of like that. All right. Well, cheers, guys. Thanks for being here. Keep up the hard work, and keep me posted in the group chat. And yeah, good stuff. See you guys next week.
Good night, guys. Cheers.
Later.
Awesome.
Bye.
Wyatt, we'll talk. We'll talk in a second about affiliate sites.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Just
All right,
stay in
guys,
here, or
peace.
do you want to hop in a new room?
Let me end it, and I'll just call you on Messenger.
Okay.
All right.
Later.